Hey, I've got the jumper and I've got the hat. It must be the Conkers Christmas party. Ready for a chair dance? Hi everyone. Oh, my arm aches from all that jingle bell stuff, I tell you. No expense spared with the Christmas decorations here, as you can see. And hopefully I've unmuted my mic. Yes, I have, so you can hear me. So welcome. It's the Conkers Live Christmas Party. And I don't know how long this hat's going to stay on because that is really tickling my ear. It's just driving me mad at the moment. So great to have so many of you out there. 172 tuning in already. Been chatting to Emma. She's been having a little dance to the music there. I've seen her. So I don't. Yeah, there she goes again. I can see her. I think she realizes I can see her. I'm never quite sure. So welcome. It's we're going to have a bit of fun tonight, I hope. Don't forget, you can join in. You're very welcome to send in some pictures of yourselves, really, some selfies of you enjoying the party tonight. If you've got some if you're dressed up for the occasion, even better. But even not, and we've got an entry already. Nigel and Alison, thank you very much for sending your picture in. Let's see if we can get that up on screen. There we are. Drinks and hats in very much in evidence there. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much for sending that in. If you want to send your one in, please do. We'd love to see what you're doing tonight. How you're joining in with the celebrations. If you've got some more decorations up than we have, this is all temporary. I can't really do very much with it. So yeah, send us in your pictures. Send us pictures. If you got your Christmas jumper on, look, this is my only Christmas jumper. So I might treat you to my Christmas t-shirt later on if you're really lucky. I might need to turn the heating on first though. It's a bit chilly here. So hi, welcome. We'll be getting on with it's Emma Cook tonight demonstrating for us on a very much a Christmas themed demo tonight. And as I'm doing this, I'm trying to read the comments as they're coming in. Yeah, Mel, sorry about the jingle bells. I did find some in the end. So we'll be using those a little bit later on, hopefully. But I think it's probably about time to bring Emma on screen. She's sitting there waiting. Haven't seen Emma properly since, since the Weekender, actually. We'll be talking about the Weekender a little bit more later on. So here we go. Emma, let's bring you on screen, see if this will work. Here we are. Ta-da! There you are. Hello,
Hi,
Emma.
everyone. Hello.
I'm going to have to give you pretty much full screen there if I can, Emma. Let's just drag you over there. Hang on. There we are. Look at that, everyone. It's Emma the elf. Hooray.
Yay.
That's fantastic. Your bubble's a bit longer than mine. That's driving my ear mad. But
it's an old one, is this though? It's full of shavings from the last time I wore it.
All right, you're just a touch quiet there, Emma. I just need to turn you up my end. Let me know if you're getting feedback. That might be my end. It's okay.
Okay.
It's all been a bit of a rush tonight, folks. We didn't have time to do a proper camera and sound check beforehand, but Emma's a professional at this, so she knows what she's doing far more than I do. So that's much better. Stephen, will the hat be available from Chestnut Product Shop? Probably not, to be honest. The calendars are going to give those a plug in a while, but the hats, no. Pound Shop, mate. That's the best place to get them. Harvey, I don't know if you saw my answer about the calendar. Drop me an email, by the way. So Emma, how have you been? Have you been busy?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll just move my microphone a bit closer, actually. That might work a bit better. Is that any better?
Yeah, you're sounding great this end. If anyone on the chat can give us some sound checks, that'd be really useful.
Yeah, sound checks always helpful, guys. But no, in answer to your question, Terry, I'm okay. I've just been super busy. So with demos and driving and everything. So, but it's nice to have a bit of fun tonight. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be let's have some silliness if we can. I'm asking people also to send in their favourite Christmas cracker jokes, or is it the worst Christmas cracker jokes? I can't really decide. So, but let's get some of those in as well. I'll throw some in as well, and just to keep it going. And feel free, Emma, if you have some as well. And any riddles that we've got that we can set for Emma, that will be fun.
Riddles, yeah. Yeah, I like riddles. I'm rubbish at them, but I like them.
Well, fortunately, we don't do too many in the quiz, so I know you enjoy the quiz.
Oh, I love the quiz. I was so disappointed I couldn't join the last one.
Yeah, it was a real shame, but there's another one coming up later on. We're going to do one between Christmas and New Year again. So yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunity there to shine and show everyone how much you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, brilliant. All right, Emma, I'll let you go off screen for a couple of minutes, give you a couple of minutes just to finish getting yourself organized and ready, grab a drink, and we'll be back on, well, actually not very long now. Guess you're going on the demo, yeah?
Okay. All right, see you soon.
Bye. And so Emma's coming back in a minute. Green is traditional. Do you know, I'm not sure if that's true or not, Julia. I need to look that up again because but yeah, how to make a cigarette lighter, take the tobacco out. Very good. Don't put the answers in the chat. Let's see if we can stump Emma up with those. I'm never sure about the whole red Santa thing. I need to look that up. Anyway, in the meantime, we've had this is episode 21 of Conkers Live in the last about 17 months, as well as all the quizzes and the live streams that we've done from Weekenders and the like. So we've been pretty busy, and we've had some fantastic demonstrators over the last year or so. So thank you to all of those who've joined in, and we've got a couple of messages from a couple of them.
Hello there. Most of you will know me, but for those who don't, I'm Phil Greenwood, based up in North Yorkshire. So I was glad to be asked by Terry this year to demonstrate for one of his events for Conkers. I'd just like to wish Terry and all his staff and everybody who's been watching these fantastic demonstrations and the demonstrators as well a very good Christmas, and let's hope next year is even better. Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.
There you go. Phil Greenwood was demonstrated for us earlier in the year. Brilliant demo as well. So I hope you caught up with that one. Phil's not quite as well. It's in the chat, so I've got to be careful what I say. He's not one of the bigger names in the world of wood turning demos, I think, which is a real shame because he's very talented and the demo was absolutely first class. So if you're watching and you're looking for someone to book for next year for a demo, give Phil a chat. Give Phil a shout. All right, here we go. Oh, the riddles are coming in there, Emma. So I hope you're ready for those. Let's get you back on screen if you're ready. Hang on.
I am.
Actually, there we go.
Yes,
Actually,
I'll be reading those.
Someone has sent in a joke for me. Which
okay.
They emailed it in the other day, and they said. Christmas Day, 2 cannibals were eating a circus clown, and one says to the other, "Does this taste funny to you?" You're allowed to groan. It's okay. You do the groaning because there's no one here who can groan for me, so that's fine. And here we go. A question coming in from Melissa. Mel. How many letters in the Christmas alphabet?
No idea. I am horrible at riddles. How many letters? It's going to be really easy as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I have no idea either. So, Melissa, you're going to need to give us the answer to that, please, if you could.
Yeah, come on, Mel.
Hang on, I'm not sure.
25.
Hang on. I'm losing this. 25 because there is no dough. Huh? No L.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of how to ruin a perfectly bad riddle.
Yeah, get it wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was totally unrehearsed. So, as you can probably tell, turn your tassel to the rear of your head. You can see it then if I do that. All right, Emma. So, no, okay. This is not going to be. I don't know how much turning we're going to get through tonight. Did you hear about the wood turner? Yeah. Did you hear about the wood turner who died when he fell into a vat of varnish? It was a terrible end, but he had a great finish. Okay, that's another groan. Another groan there.
It is another groan.
Okay, Emma. So if you're kind of ready to try and sneak in a bit of turning, get that on the way for us. I'm going to take myself into. Oh, you're not supposed to do that, computer. Keep Emma big. Thank you. And I'll be coming back and pestering you a little bit later. So if you want to start off, and then I'll come and see you in a little while. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Yeah. Right. Good evening, everybody. It's so nice to be on here again, and it's so nice for it to be a Christmas party. So thank you, everybody who has joined us. This evening, I'm doing a variation on a really popular demo. I didn't want to do anything complicated because I want to just have the opportunity, as Terry says, to have a fun evening. So as you can see, maybe on the side, I'll turn my snow off and then you might be able to see. We've got a variation on my little snowman. It's basically a combination of a snowman and a gonk. So we've got a Santa ornament with the nice red lights in there, and so we're going to go through that this evening. So I'll pop him there. He'll probably end up falling off and smashed by the end of the evening, but hey ho, we will see. So many people saying hi to everybody. It's nice to see you all. I'm very sorry that I've been quite absent on my own channel. It's just been so busy, and I've got still another 2 busy weeks, and then maybe a bit of time off that I'm looking forward to. But I hope you're all well anyway. I'm afraid this evening I am Casperless. We don't have Casper, so it's me on my own. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit with the old cameras. If there's any, Terry, you might have to shout me if I do forget to change a camera or something. But for now, we'll stick to the front. So let's get started. So I've got a piece of ash here. This is 5 inches square and 2 inches deep. So there we go. I'm going to turn this round, and then we're going to put a spigot on this tailstock side, and that's actually going to be the top of the base, so that we can turn it around and put it into the jaws of the chuck. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my chisels.
While you're grabbing those, Emma.
Yes.
While you're grabbing them, so you're going to get picked on tonight, I'm afraid. Why are Christmas trees bad at knitting?
Something to do with needles, because they drop their needles.
Oh, well done.
Yes. That's right.
Yes, it was
right?
correct. Well done.
I've got something right.
Yeah, hang
Put
on.
that in the quiz.
There we go.
Yay! I might have a jingle for that. Have I got a jingle? Yay! A jingle with a bit of snow as well. Yeah, I'm going to do that every time I get one right, which won't be often. Right, glasses. I had some and I put them down. There they are. I'm getting rather red because, like Terry says, these hats may not last very long. It's rather warm in here. Health and safety. Bobbles out of the way. Health and safety. See what I did there?
Groan. I'll do it for you.
Thank you. Right, so I'm going to use a 3/8 bowl gouge just to rough this out. We can't use a spindle roughing gouge on this because it is not a spindle blank. We're turning both end grain and cross grain on this, so we need to be using a bowl gouge. So I'm going to start the lathe up and then take these corners off. Now we've got quite a large gap building up over the tool rest here, so we're just going to move the tool rest forwards because there's about 1 inch there, and we don't want to get fingers trapped or have excess overhang of the chisel. So we'll just continue now to finish roughing this out, and then we'll take a finishing cut just to make sure that the wood is sound. We got any more riddles, Terry? Let's have another riddle.
I was just about to come on screen and say, I don't know if this is allowed, but we've had a proper question come in. I suppose we can.
I don't know about that. Oh, okay.
David has asked, is it him or is your lathe sensor quite high?
Well, yes, it is. Although the camera angle doesn't actually help, but it is kind of chest height really for me. Now traditionally when you set a lathe up, normally you go for kind of elbow height. Most lathes don't come for people that are 4'10.5". They are mostly for bigger people, and the reason that I've left mine like this is because I don't like standing on a platform because I am not the most graceful person and I would fall off. I'm very clumsy. In fact, I have fallen off when I've demoed at clubs. And because I demo so much, club lathes are always too high for me. So my coping mechanism has actually been how I sharpen my chisels. I have very short bevels because I'm always kind of lifting myself up to the lathe. So for me, it doesn't really matter. It's just not particularly pleasant because you're closer to the shavings coming off, but hence why we've got our safety glasses and face shields and things like that. But yeah, good. It is a good question. I do get asked it a lot, but yes, this is very, very high for how you normally have it set up.
Okay. In the meantime, Ashley tells us that he bought a kitchen strainer for his sprouts, but it only had 25 holes. Apparently, it's an advent calendar. Ugh. I'm reading it and trying not to ruin that, and then I did. It's an advent calendar. Sorry, Ash. That was such a good. I hadn't heard that one before.
Better when you get the punchlines wrong. An advent calendar. I like that.
That's
Keep
very
the
good.
Riddles coming, guys. I need more riddles. Get my brain.
Okay, hang on a sec. I'm sure there was one, and I can't find it again now. They are. Everything's coming through too thick and fast. What did Santa do when he went dating?
What did Santa do when he went dating?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
No, I don't know either. So, Steve,
No,
we're going to need the answer to that one, please.
Yeah. Come on, we need the answer to that one.
Let's move that over there. Let's tell you, while we're waiting for that, we've had another picture come in from John.
Yay.
So here's John. There we go. That looks very Grinchy, I've got to say, to be honest.
It does, actually. Very Grinchy.
John, thanks for sending that in, though. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, come on, guys. Get your pictures in. I'm not the only one looking an idiot tonight, surely.
No, I'm there as well. Don't worry. Steve, we still want to know what happened when Santa went dating. But
It's what?
Do you know what happened when Santa went dating? He pulled a cracker.
Oh, is that Steve? Which Steve is that?
Steve Ash.
I thought it might be. Steve last year Steve and DJ won my bad jokes competition on Boxing Day. They both came in joint.
Yeah, maybe he's got a few new ones. So
yes,
right.
It's amazing. Like quick fire with them, though.
Well, yeah, too quick. So what did one snowman? I'll tell you the answer straight away. What did one snowman say to the other snowman? Can you smell carrots?
Can you smell carrots?
Yeah.
Yay!
Well done. Oh, hang on. It's one of those real questions have come in now as well. This is an interesting one, actually. Nigel asks, what would you turn if you wanted to turn something just for you to keep or to use? So not something to sell, to give away or anything else. If it was just for you, what would you make for yourself?
That's a really good question. I would probably turn something quite simple, like a simple bowl, but out of a really unusual wood. I do quite like very simple forms, and I do like the unusual wood combination of it. So the wood's doing all the talking. So probably something like that. That's a really good question. That should be like a staple question on Conkers Live, because it's a bit of a thinker, is that? So yeah, probably a simple bowl, although I do like turning my ornaments as well. I like turning my hanging ornaments. And what else? I've got some interesting things coming next year. But I like making those. But I think most of the keeper things are more because of the wood as opposed to what I've made from them.
Yeah, I can go with that, I think.
Yeah.
Andrew, another question. We've had that one, Andrew. Sorry. Steve, yes, you are allowed to tell jokes. I'm just going to perhaps edit some of them down, and I might not. Some of them may not get read out, but
no, that's fine.
So far, so good. So far, so good. Right, over to you again.
Right, so I am now going to use just a slightly smaller chisel, just because that's the one I've picked up, and we're going to cut the bottom of this, just tidy it up a little bit, and then we're going to put a recess in there, which is going to hold our battery lights, but it's also going to be our recess for chucking this internally. That's the word I was looking for. Which camera is it? Nope, that one. Okay. So I'm just making the bottom of this slightly concave as well. And the reason for that is because it will sit on the outside edge. And we want it to do that so that if it does happen to warp at all, it's less likely to wobble. So I do that on the basis of pretty much everything. And now we're going to take a straight edge parting tool and we're going to cut in here for our set of lights to go. Now this has to be quite deep, does this recess? Tends to be about 3/8 of an inch to half an inch deep, because it's got to fit both the lights, the battery case for the lights and the hook and loop tape. Something just went bang and I don't know what it was. Chris, this is going to be a battery light. You can do this out of USBs, but I have struggled getting hold of red USBs for some reason. Okay. So I'm just going to take my beading parting tool just to kind of straighten that off. I've just invested in a little box scraper, in a negative rake scraper actually from Simon Hope, but they only came earlier this week and I haven't actually had time to sharpen it and prepare it, so it's kind of hanging down there ready to use. So shame on me for not having that sorted. It's the first scraper I've ever bought, which is quite exciting really. So now we've got this recess. We need to drill our hole that our lights are going through, but we also need to check that this recess is large enough for the lights to go. So I will swap this over a second to Jacob's cup, so it'll give Terry the opportunity to come on again.
You must have seen me there already. Okay, so why was 6 afraid of 7?
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, well done. Hang on.
I know that. Come on, that's that one. Oh, I got a ding! Yay! Yeah, that was an easy one, guys. That was
all right. What do reindeer use to decorate themselves?
Ooh, what do reindeer use to decorate themselves? I don't know.
Ornaments.
Oh, that's terrible.
Hey, what do you? Oh, Frederick, I'm going to groan at this one myself. What do you call a line of men waiting for a haircut?
I don't know.
Oh, we've stumped Emma. It's a barbecue.
Oh.
Just meanwhile, one of my jokes now, which just to warn everyone: 2 fish in a tank, and one turns to the other and says, "How do you drive this thing?" Delayed reaction. Thank you very much.
It took me a while to figure it out. I was like, oh yeah, one of them tanks.
Excellent. They are coming through thick and fast. I really can't keep up with all of them. So if I don't read your one out and you think it deserves to be read out, repeat it, send it in again, and I'll catch up with it if I can. Over to you, Emma.
Thank you. Right, so we are drilling currently a 4mm hole with a 4mm bit in the Jacob's chuck. I've turned the speed right down, and I'm just feeding the bit through so that it goes all the way through to the top. Now, if you do forget this stage now, it's not the end of the world, because this will be turned round and we will have another opportunity to do this. The reason that I do it this way is because it will any breakout that's at the top of this, where the drill bit has exited the wood, will be turned away when this is turned over. So we now need to have a quick check and make sure that the light, the battery lights, the battery case even for the lights, fits in this recess. And what we are ideally looking for, if I can just zoom in a little bit more. Oops, sorry.
While you're doing that, Emma,
yep,
got another one for you. What do snowmen wear on their heads?
What do snowmen wear on their heads? I don't know. I'm rubbish.
It's ice caps.
Oh. That's terrible.
Alison, thank you for that one.
Right, so I've just popped the battery case in there. You want to make sure that it can be put to the side, but there's still access to that. Oh, sorry, my hat's in the way. To the little hole for the lights to be fed through. You also want to make sure there's room to get your finger in so that you can operate that switch, which is just there, that little black switch. So that's about right. I might nibble it slightly wider, but it doesn't need to be too much wider at all, really. And we want to make sure that we can also hold this in our jaws. So don't turn it too large or too small. You need it within the capacity of your jaws, really. So I'll just take that and widen it just a little bit, and then we'll turn it round and we can start to shape the top. Okay. So now we can give the underneath a quick sand. I'm just going to move that out of the way, and we want to get our dust extraction in position. And I've just got some 240 grit. No, I haven't. That's not 240. There we go. Some 240 grit on a sanding arbor, and I'm just going to sand this area here. So I'll pop that on. And then I'm going to put some cut and polish on here and some microcrystalline wax as the finish. So we've got some safety cloth. Where's my safety cloth? And this is what I'm going to use to put that on with.
They're coming through thick and fast at the moment.
Go on then, give us another.
Okay, what do you get if you accidentally swallow glitter?
Tinselitis.
Yes, well done. I hadn't heard that one before. Why was the snowman looking through a pile of carrots?
Don't know.
This is terrible. Sorry, hang on. Tinselitis. Snowman carrots. He was picking his nose.
Oh.
Frederick, that's a real groaner, I'm afraid.
That is a terrible one.
Polar Bear walks into a bar and says, I'll have a gin and tonic, please. And the barman says, why the big paws? And he said, I was born with them.
I actually thought the mic had gone off then. I was like, oh no. I needed pre-warning. I thought, I can't hear Terry anymore. What's going on?
And what's a woodturner's favourite instrument?
Oh, I don't know.
A banjo.
Oh, of course. Oh dear.
Oh, well done, DJ. Blame him for that one. Last one for the time being. I will let you get some work done. Maybe, who knows? What type of key do you need for a nativity play?
What type of what? Key.
Key.
For a nativity. I don't know.
A donkey.
Oh dear. I'm not very good at this, am I?
I've got
more right tonight than I have on the quizzes, though.
You're doing good on the turning there.
At least that's something, eh?
Over to you.
Right. Okay, so we've got our cut and polish on, guys. I've just popped that on while the lathe was stationary, and this is going to finish the sanding process. Now, you do ideally need to sand to about 240 before you put this on, and you've got to do a decent job with your sanding. It's not like filler, so it's not going to erase scratches of 120 if you haven't gone through the grits. But it is good stuff, and I use it a heck of a lot. Now, I am then going to take some microcrystalline wax. This was part of a larger stick. I just dropped it earlier and shattered it. So this is the microcrystalline stick, and we're just going to rub that on with the lathe turning and then give that a polish. I'm not really fussed about getting any on the inside because we are going to be sticking the tape on there. It doesn't seem to interfere with the double-sided tape, though, so it's not really much of a problem. Now, we'll turn this round and we can start to turn the top side of this base. And then we will be colouring this once that is done. Okie dokie. So I tend to keep the shapes of these really, really simple because with colouring it, etc., etc., you don't want too much going on, otherwise it can make it look a little bit too busy. So we've got our 4mm hole coming through there, and as you might be able to see, the breakout. You can just about make it out there, and that's why I do it at that stage. And then we're going to bring the tool rest up and take our ball gouge and start to, first of all, get rid of this spigot, and then we're going to round this off. So whichever size of gouge you want, I'm just going to use a 3/8 again, just because I picked it up. Need some decent speed on here. Okay, now you can do a draw cut to start shaping this, which will remove quite a lot of timber. And if you are somebody who uses fingernail profile gouges, then this is a brilliant cut for you, because you'll remove a lot of timber very, very quickly. And you're working with the grain because you're going from the centre outwards. However, it can be quite an aggressive cut, so we're still going to have to tidy the cut up afterwards, just so that it's kind of pre-finished, ready for us to sand then. And then I'm going to just start to cut this because it's a little bit blunt, is that wing. So I'm actually going to start to cut. Now, at this stage, it's important to see where I'm actually starting this cut. So I've actually got the tool orientated so that the bevel's rubbing. It's all the way over the other side of the lathe. If I can zoom this other camera out, let's have a look. I will be able to show you a little bit better what I mean. There we go. So I'm actually starting the cut right over here because the tool needs to be in contact with the wood with the bevel rubbing to stop it from skipping back or catching. All right, so it seems like a bit of a weird thing to do, but for somebody my size, I don't tend to have my tools into my core very much. So for me, I kind of have my arm floating quite a lot, and I let the tools do all the work and take all the stress of the turning. I don't kind of try to involve myself in it too much. So I'm just letting the wood fall onto the tool and the tool do the cutting. So for me, it's not that strange a thing to do, but if you are somebody who does tuck in your chisel into your body, then this can be quite awkward. If you have a revolving headstock, brilliant, you'll be able to get round it a little bit better. But if not, you must make sure that you are orientating this correctly to get this cut.
Emma.
Yeah.
What is the world's best Christmas present?
The world's best Christmas present.
Yeah, this is a DJ stinker, I'm afraid.
It's another DJ stinker.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go on.
It's a broken drum. You just can't beat it.
GJ, that were awful. Right. So I need to now think about bringing the tool rest round a little bit. Continue this cut. Now I don't cut right up to the very edge of what we've already turned, because if I do that, I'm going to end up sort of rolling the chisel off the end of the piece of work, and it'll cause breakout. It'll blow out the grain underneath, and we've got a nice finish there, so we don't want that to happen. So when it comes to getting to this stage here, right at the very edge, I actually bring the chisel round, and I actually just take a cut from the outside edge in. Just bring them together to meet. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure that we've got a fairly flowing curve. Got a bit of a shoulder on this, so I'm going to just bring the chisel back and get rid of that. And then we're going to hollow this middle area out, because that's where the glass is going to sit. And then we've got to put a little recess in there, and what that will do is allow for the neck of the glass to sit inside. Now, don't make this hole too wide, because if you make it really wide, then you'll have to make it really deep to accommodate the glass. And if you do that, you can end up turning right through into that underneath section that we've cut, the recess at the bottom. So we don't particularly want to do that. So at this stage now, I'll take a little bit of a dry run just to make sure that the glass fits correctly, and then we can finish shaping this and get that sanded up. So I will just grab the glass globe. So this is an 80mm glass globe, which is one of the Snowman kits that you can get from my website. It comes with the lights, the glass, and the double-sided tape to put everything together. And this is kind of the standard size, really. Now that does.
What's the website address, Emma?
The website is thetinyturner.co.uk. It's just going to scroll across your screen very, very slowly.
Man, that is slow.
I do them as it is slow. I know. I've just noticed how slow it is. You can get them as individuals, or you can get them as a bulk pack of 5. But all the details are on there, and you can choose whatever colour lights you want as well. Now, when you are fitting this, what's important is, let me just see if I can get a better close-up for you on the other camera.
Emma, I've just muted you for a moment there because you're not letting me get a word in edgeways at the moment. So I'll unmute you again now. Hang on, here we go. Just wanted to let you know that Kirsty Dalton is in the house.
Hi, Kirsty.
So she says, you look fantastic. She loves the festive cheer and might have some news about Kirsty later on. So I'll catch you up on that later on. So
okay, good stuff.
Let you take over again.
Yeah, no problem. I got muted. That's funny. Right, now, what I was going to say is that we are looking for a loose fit with the glass and the wood. At the moment, that can't actually move inside there. So we want to make that a little bit wider because, to be honest, at the moment, if the wood moves, it's going to pass the stress through to the glass and it's going to crack the glass potentially. And we don't want that to happen because although you can get them apart, it's very, very difficult and time consuming. So we're just going to widen that recess just a little bit, just to allow for a little bit more movement. So I'm just going to bring the tool rest up again. And just relieve that a little bit more. So one last dry run. Yeah, that's fine. And that moves around. So that's the kind of fit that we're after. Now we're just going to take one final little cut on this outside just to tidy it up once and for all. And then again, we'll just give it a quick sand, but we're not going to be sanding this and then putting some cut and polish on like we did with the underneath. We're going to be putting some ebonizing lacquer. So I will just pop my dust extraction on. Okay, so we're sanded up to 240. I'm trying to keep sanding to a minimum as much as possible, just for time constraints. And then we're going to take a chestnut liming brush and give that a really good scrub. So we're clearing out all the dust in that grain because we're going to, once we've sprayed it, we will be embellishing it. Okay. Now you want to be careful that you don't just go and buy sort of any kind of wire brush that you can get from hardware stores, etc. for this, guys, because if it is like basically a steel brush that you end up with, it will just scratch all the wood. This brush doesn't. It's designed for this job, so it's nice and gentle on the timber, but still does a great job of clearing out all that dust. So ideally, before you put your ebonizing lacquer on, try and do a coat of sanding sealer first. Again, for time, I am going to just do go straight in with the ebonizing lacquer. So I will spray this up. So if Terry, if you have any more riddles, then now is the time.
Oh, hang on. No, that's the right.
Sorry, I just dropped you in that.
Sorry, Emma. No, I've just done a mad search for my earphones. There's a bit of echoes, so I've had to go back and earphones. So
that's
yeah.
my fault.
No, that's not at all. The 2754 behind Emma. Do you want to explain what that is, Emma?
Oh yeah, It's my Facebook like counter for my Facebook page. So if you haven't liked my Facebook page, The Tiny Turner, and you like it, you will see that update itself live, or it should do. Sometimes it just decides to turn off. Sometimes people decide to unlike to see it go down, which is always really kind of them. But yeah, that's what that is for. It's not for how many jokes have been said, although it's probably getting towards that.
and it's not my date of birth, as someone said. So here you go. I don't know if you've seen the answer for this come up. Actually, I wouldn't mind if it wasn't my date of birth, come to think of it. Anyway, no. That's in the wrong direction. What do you call a person who is afraid of Santa Claus?
Claustrophobic.
A bit quiet. My bell's gone quiet, but yes, well done. That was very good. Oh no, this is horrible, Nigel. What do you get if you deep fry Santa Claus?
I don't know if this is that's about snow, but I'm deep and crisp and even.
Crisp Kringle. So.
Oh, that's something to do with pizzas, I think. I don't know. There's a riddle there.
While you're doing the little the can dance there and stuff, I'm just going to play a relevant little video, if that's okay. Hang on a minute.
Oh no.
No, don't worry, you're safe. So far.
You say that.
Ho, ho, ho! Happy New Year, happy Christmas, happy whatever holiday, apart from those two you may be celebrating. What a great time of year for parties and celebrations this is. I'm delighted to be part of this little evening for you, wearing purple tinsel, especially for you, Emma. Does it clash with the red? Who cares? Well, I hope you've had a good year. Let's all agree it didn't start off brilliantly, but let's hope the ending is much better. And let's hope that 2022 is much better and we can get out and about a lot more and be seen in person instead of through this screen. Oh, there it is, up there. Anyway, I know I'm looking forward to doing a bit more in-person stuff next year. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a wonderful, wonderful festive period and a happy 2022 to all of you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Stuart. Stuart's unable to be with us tonight,
Stuart.
Unfortunately, but yeah, I'm sure he'll be watching on the catch-up. So, Jay, thanks for sending that in,
lovely.
Stuart. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for the purple tinsel, Stuart. I very much approve. And it doesn't clash with the red either. It doesn't. Right, I've lost my mind and my step centre. Put these. Oh, it's there. I put it somewhere safe and sensible. Thank you, guys. Look, it's going up. Told you. Right. So I've lost the plot. So that is drying. So we can't do anything with that now until the Ebonizing Lacquer's dried. It only takes about 10 minutes or so, but that means that in the meantime, we can start turning the next stage, which is our Santa's head. So I've got a piece of sycamore here. No, that's not. That's ash. This is sycamore. Now, you kind of can't really see it, so it doesn't matter too much what you do actually use, but I am going to use this this piece of sycamore anyway, so I'm just going to put my centres on there, and then we'll get that into the jars. And turn our Santa head. Now, I use 2-inch square stock for this. So this is 2-inch square, and it was from a 9-inch length. It's just the offcut of it. I think it's about 3 inches or 4 inches. I'd use the other for a bauble or something. So, but you only really need it 2 inches square and maybe 2.5 inches long to make one of these. Really, really easy. And the great thing is about these projects is you can use all sorts of little scraps of wood up for these. Same with the gonks. They're brilliant fun to make. And this is kind of a hybrid between the two, really. Last year I did a little Santa box, which I was going to do last weekend. but I kind of thought it'd be a bit too similar to this, and then everything went wrong anyway, so I didn't stream. But here we go. So we need to turn this round. Now this is spindle turning, so this is length grain, so we can use a spindle roughing gouge. The reason that we don't use it for cross grain pieces, so bowl blanks, is because the tang, as you can see, is very, very thin, and the pressures put onto the piece of onto the tool from a piece of cross grain wood is just too great, and it will bend and snap that. So please be careful that you only use it for spindle turning. So we'll get the speed up. And round this off. There we go. So just taking a bit of a finishing cut on there, and then we will put a spigot on one end and get that into the jaws of the chuck. So to do the spigot, we're going to use the imparting tool again, and we're going to dovetail it slightly. I'm going to do this end because it's a little bit straighter. So that can go into the jaws of the chuck. Now, if you want to be efficient at this stage, you can also round off whatever section that you would like for the hat. Now, that is completely your call as to whether you do both at the same time. Again, I have a separate piece of sycamore that I'm going to use for doing the hat. So we might as well take the opportunity and round this off too. So I'll just find the center on this piece and pop that back into the lathe. Okay.
And while you're doing that one, what do you get if you cross Santa with a duck?
Santa with a duck. Christmas quackers. I hope.
Well done.
Yes!
Yeah, another one. Yay. And what is Santa's primary language? I don't actually know the answer to this one, so I hope I'm not going to regret asking the question. Oh, I do regret asking it, but not for any bad reasons.
All right, okay. What is Santa's primary language? I don't know. I've no idea.
North Polish.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, that's a real groan. Sorry, Gentle Turd, I'm not sure who you are. Thank you for that one.
Oh, that's Martin. Yeah.
Martin.
Thanks, Martin.
Okay, and an actual real question. What size spindle gouge? I know. Oh, they're concentrating now. I don't know. What size spindle gouge are you using? Someone wants to get one for inch and a quarter. All right, brilliant.
Big one.
So,
yeah. Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
and you're saying.
Go on.
No, go on. You're carrying about the gouge.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say I'd like to use the larger spindle gouge. It just roughs out quicker. And you can do quite a lot even with a larger spindle gouge, whereas if it's smaller, you start limiting yourself a little bit.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Your small counter in the background, by the way, the Facebook thing, we can't actually see the last digit on there. So when it changes, we can't quite see it. That's it.
Oh, no, you'll all have to unlike and re-like. Is that better? There we go.
Well, better yet, let's have at least 4 more people come in there, so we'll go up to 2760.
Yeah, come on, let's get this.
all over to Emma's Facebook page and like it.
Yay! Don't dislike it later though, because it'll make me sad.
You didn't see that, it just went mad in the background, going up and down.
I can hear it.
All right.
This is a very tough piece of sycamore because it's quite rippled. So just clean that foot up and then throw my chisel over the other side of the blade. There we go. So we'll put our spigot on there. Now this is a really, really gorgeous piece of timber. Let me get that overhead camera. Look at that. That's really nice rippled piece. So I'm going to put this. The hat we actually.
Sorry, Emma, I accidentally took you off screen for a second then. So,
it's all right.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
There you go. So, yeah, you're back on now.
I'm back on. There we go.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm putting a spigot on both ends because we've got to do a little bit of drilling at the top just for the little wobble. So we'll sort that out in a moment. But now we'll pop the original piece of sycamore back in the lathe and we'll turn the snowman's head. Okay.
Emma, there are some great questions coming up tonight, as well as the riddles. And
good.
What tools do you have in the workshop that you never, or at least very rarely, use? Frederick's saying he has a workshop full of them. So, do you have stuff that you've got and you thought, well, that's a good idea, but just don't seem to use?
I don't have any because I have to. Oh, look, it's going bonkers. Oh, how many people? Yay, we got over the 60. I'm not a toolaholic at all. I'm terrible. In fact, I'm really tight with tools. Like I said right at the start, for anybody who didn't catch it, I have only just got a scraper because I have like five main chisels that I use and then a couple of extras, and really that's it. It's the tools that I tend to not use are maybe things that I've been given to try out, or I'll tell you one thing I have that I don't use. I don't do a lot of texturing with texturing tools. So I have got a texturing set, but I don't really use that very often. I'm not brilliant at it. But yeah, if you watch somebody like Chris Parker, Chris is amazing with texturing. And I kind of see some of his things and then think I really should have a go. Gary's another one who does all sorts of little bits of texturing and on his work, and so that's something I would like to improve on. Oh, and something else that I've bought that I want to get good at but I don't use at the moment is a skew chisel. So I have bought one. It's one of Dave Dolby's. I don't know where I've put it, but it is in here. But that's not been out of the packet yet. But that's just because I'm scared of it, basically. But no, I don't really have many chisels that I don't use. If I have them and I'm not keen on them, or for one reason or another, or it's not for me, I have problems with height as well, then I'll just give them away a lot of the time. So yeah, I don't really have that many that I don't use.
DJ's got another one for you. It was a good question, wasn't it? I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to get a double bell if you get this one right. How did hang on, I've lost the question now. How did Scrooge win a football match? It's torturous, I'm telling you.
Okay, go on.
The ghost of Christmas Past. Yeah.
That is bad. That is bad. That may be the worst one yet, DJ. That possibly could be the worst one yet. Any more? Have we got any more?
No, we've just had a little bit of a repeat one, so we've had that one before, I think. So no, but they've gone a bit quiet at the moment. So yeah, but I'm sure they're coming back very soon. Don't you worry. DJ says you'll be quiet now.
No, don't be quiet, DJ.
I don't think we believe it anyway. We still need some more pictures, though, people. Send us some,
we do. Get your
Christmas
selfies on.
Yeah, I've got mine on. Go on. Let's have some Christmas selfies. Even if it's just raising a drink and watching the show. Send us a picture. I'd love to see you.
Yeah. Right. So this is going to be the underneath of Santa's head. So this needs to be rounded off as well because it's going to sit up against the glass. So it's got to accommodate that curve. So we're just making it slightly concave, and then we'll just grab our glass and basically just make sure that butts up. Now it needs to go a little bit deeper. It's not quite there. So another couple of cuts and we should be okay. There we go. Okay, now that should fit.
So I'm taking pity on this one with you, Emma. So, what did Adam say on the day before Christmas?
What did what?
What did Adam say on the day before Christmas?
Adam. Oh, it's Christmas Eve.
Well done.
Yay. I hope someone's tallying how many I've got right.
I'll just watch it back.
I'll watch it back. I think I've got 3 right or something. Maybe 4. And about 8 wrong.
And someone's asking, can you show us exactly the angle of the chisel as you start the curve, please?
Which curve is that? Is that for the internal curve? It must be, because that's what I've just done. Right, yes we can. Okay. Let me zoom in for you. Actually, no, I probably better zooming out. Hang on a second, guys. I may be better zooming out for this. Okay, so we'll do a combination of a few different camera angles. So technically, this is incorrect turning of end grain, but because I'm using a ball gouge, I'm actually going from the outside edge into the centre, as you would with a cross grain piece. Now, sometimes it will kick you out, will this, because you're pushing into the end grain. Really, we should be coming from the centre outwards, ideally. So, but I will show you. Oh, that's probably a better angle, actually. We'll go for overhead. So when I did that curve, I basically was starting the cut so that the bevel is rubbing immediately after the cutting edge, and then just kind of moving through that kind of angle. So let me see if I can show you that on the other camera. So we're starting with the bevel rubbing, and then we're just traversing, but we are pulling the chisel round. So we're kind of scooping it out and making sure that follows. That's the same cut that we do for the ball gouge. But really, we should be going from the inside, right in the centre, towards the outside edge with it being end grain. I am just a little bit lazy, I suppose, with changing the chisels to a spindle gouge or something for doing that cut. So I just do that cut with a ball gouge just because I often, and then I'm going to continue with the ball gouge. So it's an efficiency thing, really. But I don't find that it has a problem very often, but sometimes it can kick you back. So just be aware of it. So we're going to go for quite a spherical shape for our Santa head or snowman head. The process so far is exactly the same to make a snowman ornament than it is to make the Santa ornament.
And Paul Hannaby, Paul Hannaby has chipped in. How does Santa keep everyone in suspense?
How does everyone keep everyone in suspense? I don't know.
No, nor do I, and I've got a feeling we might have to wait for that one.
How does Santa keep everyone in suspense? Oh, I don't know.
We'll come back to that, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, and what did Father Christmas pay for his sleigh?
Oh, I've heard of this one. What did Father Christmas pay for his sleigh? You're going to have to tell me. I don't know. I can't remember.
No, I don't know the answer to this one, so who asked this one?
Guys, I need to know.
I'm strolling up and down here. I can't. Oh, Adam.
I'm going to pick myself with that.
All right, so Adam, we need to know what. Nothing. It was on the house.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's bad. That's bad.
Martin asks, why wouldn't the cat climb the Christmas tree? Apparently you've got a cat and you should know the answer.
I have no idea. I have got a cat. I should know the answer. I don't know. Why wouldn't the cat climb the Christmas tree?
My cat likes climbing the ornaments that are hanging down low, but fortunately doesn't climb them. So, it was afraid of the bark.
Oh dear.
They are getting worse. They are getting worse. When you're ready, we'll take a break when you're ready, but no panic, no rush.
All right. I will finish Santa's head off. So we're nearly at the stage now that this is nearly ready for parting through. Now I did swap from the bowl gouge to the spindle gouge to carry on turning this, and I used the parting chisel as well to make a little bit of space. I keep forgetting which the overhead camera is, that one. So we've just parted through a little bit just to make room for the spindle gouge to round this off slightly, so we can give this a sand now. So I'm going to use some net abrasive for this, and we're going to just do one last check very quickly to make sure that fits. That's fine. And we need to do this before we cut this too thin, otherwise you won't be able to get the pressure on that you need to sand. Now, we are going to be parting this through, but it doesn't matter about trying to hand sand anything at the top, because you're not going to see the top. There's going to be the hat on the top. There we go. Okay, so for this, again, we're going to use some cut and polish and some microcrystalline wax. Nice and quick finish.
We've lost the picture there, Emma. Got a black screen at the moment.
Sorry about that.
While you're fixing it, who is a Christmas tree's favourite singer? It's dreadful.
Is it really bad?
Yeah, but it's one of my favourite artists, so I'll let Alison's put this one up. I'll let her off.
I am honestly not sure what has happened to this. So hang on, sorry, I'll just put something on screen. Sorry about this, guys.
It's all right.
Just plug this in again. Do we have camera one? There we go. We're back in business. Sorry about that. What was ask me again? I've immediately
Santa's favourite. A Christmas tree's favourite singer.
Singer. I don't know.
Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, they are getting worse. Oh dear.
And yeah, what time? This is a Yorkshire question, apparently. Oh, by the way, this is my my Christmas T-shirt. Oh, you can't see it. Doesn't matter. I'm only on sound. What? I don't know what's going on anymore. What time is a mince pie? It's a Yorkshire answer.
The Yorkshire answer. What?
What time is a mince pie?
What time?
Yeah.
Is a mince pie? I've no idea.
It's summit to 8.
All right. So
Yeah.
8. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. You did. Who came up with that one? Richard Stubbs.
Oh, stubby. Yeah.
We can blame him for that
Summit
one.
to 8, yeah. Summit to 8.
Yeah.
That's quite a good one. I like that. I'm biased though. It's a Yorkshire joke. So right then. So we will take a break now. We've got Santa's head done, so that is what we have, and we've got the base, which will be ready to embellish in a little while when we come back from the break. So we've got 2 things left to turn after that, and then we can start to put him together.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much. Here's the what's that? Here's the Christmas. Is my very, very subtle Christmas T-shirt. So you may not be able to work out what it is. So yeah, we'll do that. Emma,
I'm peering at you to try and see.
yeah, I know it was a present from someone. It took me a few minutes to work out what it was. It's very subtle. It's actually a reindeer with ornaments, obviously, but with
ornaments.
Yeah. Very good, very good. So just want to play another little clip for a moment there, Emma. Don't go too far away. Obviously,
Okay.
Chestnut Products, we like a bit of music, so we've got something here for you.
Here we are. Palette Blocks Blues, light blue, dark blue, and acrylic lacquer. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Have a great Christmas and New Year. All the best, everyone. Bye for now.
Andrew Hall there with one of his blues guitars, particularly blue as well. Very fitting. So perfect for that. Perfect. So Emma, I was saying earlier on that one of the last times I saw you was at the Wood Turning Weekender back down in Canterbury. We had good fun there. That was lovely.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. It was brilliant. Oh, there's recordings that should be banned of that. Goodness
Really?
me.
I don't know.
You don't know what
you might...
I'm talking about, no?
No. Oh, there you are at the Weekender in front of the stage. So, yeah, it's. We did have a good time there. I don't know what else went on there, but yeah, we had. Oh, look!
At least it was just that one, Terry. Oh, there were shenanigans that night. You guys that didn't come, oh, you missed out so much. You really did. Big time.
Yeah, thanks to Keith for that clip, sending that through.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. I thought that was from him.
It was a great evening. I don't know if Paul's there or not. Paul, are you out in the audience? If you can say hello to us. Because obviously during the evening, on the Saturday night at the weekend, do you know what? Whilst I'm waiting for Paul to answer, obviously look, this year's weekender was the Northern Invasion, and I kind of miss those invaders. So let's give them one last little outing. Here we go.
Chestnut Products Wood Turning Weekender 2, The Northern Invasion. How many titles does one event need?
I miss those guys. They were fun.
Yeah, the Northern Invaders. They were ace. They were ace that night.
Yeah, but obviously on the Saturday night we did our normal, fairly normal get together. We had a meal at the rugby club, great fun. And what no one knew, of course, was that I told everyone we were going to have a pub quiz, and instead we'd hired in an Only Fools and Horses comedy act, and they did a show during the evening for us. They were really good.
They were superb. Yeah.
Nobody knew about that. No one from Chestnut Products knew that was going to happen. That had been kept a surprise for about 2.5 years because we'd already had to cancel it once. So yeah, that was a total surprise. And one of our guys, I need to find the clip again. Hang on. Paul was there, who works for us, and we had he had a bit of a starring role during the show. And I can't see which is the right clip. It's that one there. So let's just add that one in, and just to set the scene for it. Here we go. So there we are. There's the cast from it. And during the evening, Del Boy and Rodney were there, and they wanted to create a diversion so they could get away from the police should they happen to come calling for them. Typically dodgy deals going on, obviously. And they were looking for a couple of lookalikes so that they could, so that the police would be distracted, chasing the lookalikes while they made their getaway. So that's the story so far. And they picked Paul to be a lookalike for Del. Not a great choice, actually, but let's have a look. This is Paul. I haven't got many clips of this, but this is Paul, who was trying out Del's sheepskin for size, and Del was trying to get him to do the walk. Here we go.
Let's see a bit of that, Del. Come on. Oh my God. Looks like Billy Elliot on worms. But all hope is not lost. Come on, Del, let's see you walk. Let's have a bit of a walk. Does anyone remember Larry Grayson? Because that's the first thing you think of, isn't it? No, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. We're nearly there. Go and stand in the middle, Del. Now, what we need is somebody to be that little plonk of hair. It's clearly you, isn't it, eh? Come on, up you get. Give me that applause. Give me the coat. Smart looking bloke, isn't he, eh? You couldn't have picked worse looking ass if you tried. No, that's right. He's handsome, Rodney. I might have to bash him around the face a couple of times so it looks a bit more like you. That's it. Get a coat on. Very good.
Del, these aren't the Trotter brothers. These are the bloody Chuckle brothers.
Admittedly, we have picked the only two people in Kent that don't know how to put a coat on. But we'll have to do what we can do. Right.
I still laugh at that. Poor Paul still gets ribbed about that as being Del Boy.
I bet he does. Oh, it was funny. Oh, it was funny. My cheeks are aching now from laughing.
They were really good. And I've got to say as well, well done to Dan from Zebrano Woodcraft, who was just amazing for the whole weekend with what he was doing there, and for standing in for Rodney, because I couldn't tell them apart, quite honestly. It was a really, really good evening. Really enjoyed that.
No, fantastic. Thank you for organising it, Terry. We're awesome.
Oh no, I
Really
had
awesome.
the best time. I just thoroughly enjoyed the whole weekend. I do love putting these things on. Oh, Keith, sorry, Keith is asking for Barbie Girl, but I don't know. I don't think we can do that one. You'll be pleased to know.
That should be just for people. I tell you what, I'll have to do it again when I come next time. Water. I can see it being a tradition. It's for people who come weekender only. That should be exclusive.
Well, I've got to say,
it's got to be seen in person. It's that bad.
It has to be seen in person. All right, okay. Sorry, Keith. Emma has spoken. I can't show it. Apparently, it's
I
going
thought
to
you
be.
were going to do it then.
It is potentially one of the most politically incorrect songs ever.
Oh, it's definitely problematic, isn't it?
It really is.
Really?
I mean, what did they try to ban last year? It's cold outside, and you think that's got nothing on Barbie Girl. Come on,
really done. It really done. Yeah.
Neil is asking about the dates for next year's weekender. So, Emma, are you okay to stay on screen for a little while? And,
yeah, of course I am. Yeah, no worries.
All right, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've been working hard getting stuff ready for the next weekender, and this is it, the Wood Turning Weekender, the third one. It's full steam ahead, and it's being held in Swindon on the 30th and 31st of July in 2022, strangely enough. So that's that. And the reason we've gone for the railway theme is that we're holding the event at Steam, which is the museum of the Great Western Railway in Swindon. It's a fantastic venue. They've got everything there that we need. We can do pretty much the whole thing at Steam. It's just everything that we need. If anything, it's a bigger venue than when we were in Spalding for the first time. So lots to fill there, and we've got lots of great stuff going on. We've got 4 great turners. All will be revealed tomorrow. The Wood Turning website, Wood Turning Weekend, the website gets updated at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. And if you signed up for the bulletins about the weekender, you'll get an email about it then as well, telling you everything that's going on. Well, a fair amount of what's going on. We never tell anyone everything that's going on. We like surprises. But there are a couple of things I will just announce now, because I know you're going to be really pleased about this, Emma. We have tempted Kirsty Dalton to come down for the show, and she's going to be running one of the little side stands for us, giving some demonstrations and stuff like that. So
that's exciting. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's going to be great fun. So really looking forward to that. I've not actually met Kirsty before, so it'll be great to do that as well. We've got 4 great turners. We've got loads of other things going on as well. And Swindon, I get what you're saying there, Neil, about flying abroad cheaper than Swindon. That's because flying abroad is too cheap, quite honestly. Swindon isn't. It's quite central in the west. There are loads and loads of good hotels, cheap hotels in the area. So you've got all sorts there. You've got budget hotels, you've got travel lodges, Premier Inns, Holiday Inn Expresses and the like. So you can, there's lots of opportunity to get there and make a weekend of it. It's loads of other stuff going on in the area as well. So Kirsty, very excited there, I know. And Kirsty, we're really excited to have you down now. So that's going to be great. Missed some of the chat there, but that's. But we all enjoy that. The date for next year, 30th and 31st of July, and Jack Anderson from Dundee Wood Turning is coming along with Kirsty. She's bullied him into it apparently. I find that having seen Kirsty in sort of pictures of Jack, I think Yeah, there's a you know, I don't know about that one, but obviously that's what's going on there. So that's going to be next year. It's going to be great fun once again. I know what we've got. I know some of what we've got organised. There's still more to be done with it. But yeah, the website, more details there, and the tickets will be going on sale at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. So yeah, I do hope that some of you will be joining us for that, and spread the word. If you've been before, let your friends know. Let them know what they've missed out on by not being there, because we like to think it's a great event, and Berkshire Woodturners are going to be there. Yeah, so we just do. We just have fun. It's a big social event. That's the whole idea of it. And famously, of course, Emma, you celebrated your birthday at the last one.
I did. Yeah.
We're a bit earlier this year, so you won't be able to do that, unfortunately, this time. We had a number of people there. Gary Lowe was also celebrating his birthday, and also Tara was as well. And of course, Emma had a special chair there, a little sparkly chair. So
yeah, my little birthday chair.
And that's you with your birthday cake as well. There are more pictures and more information on the on our Facebook page, and the Woodturning Weekend Facebook page.
I don't think it's come up, Terry.
Can you not see that?
I don't think the picture's come up. No.
I can. Oh, okay. I've got that on my screen.
My chair was great.
Yeah. Who can see Emma's picture in her chair? Let me just. Where's my YouTube page? Where's my YouTube page?
There's a few people asking for the dates again, Terry.
Okay. Why's that come up? I'm watching the wrong thing here. Yeah, okay, so you've got something about eggs come up by the look of it. I don't know why that's on there. So that's a bit strange. Hang on. My program's doing something a bit weird, so I'm just going to remove that. Right, the dates are 30th and 31st of July. Right, let's try again with that. Right, 31st of July. Let's try again. This all works before when I was practicing this, but you just never know what's going to happen with computers sometimes. So, right, let's see if this is going to show Emma's chair. Right, so I have got Emma's chair up now. Emma sitting in the chair.
No, it just comes up with a whirly and then nothing.
Ah.
The chair was great.
Yeah. Oh well.
And the cakes were amazing. It was a best birthday ever.
Lovely. I'm glad you enjoyed it so much. All right, I'll stop trying that. I don't know what's happening with that. It's not gonna work for me. So in the meantime, Emma, I'm just gonna play one more little picture,
yeah, no
one more
worries.
little clip here, and then we'll be back to you for part 2 of Santa.
Fantastico.
So, see where we go. Here we go.
Hi everybody, I'm Chris Fisher RPT, also known as the Blind Woodturner, and I would just love to wish you all a very happy Christmas. I hope you all have a great time, get some relaxation done, get some great gifts and presents and new toys for the workshop, and I hope you also have a very happy new year. So that's it for now everybody, keep on turning, bye!
So Chris Fisher there, wishing us all the best. Thank you, Chris, for joining in. And Emma, I'll hand back to you, and you can
thank you.
Take over.
Marvellous. Right, so we've got a couple of little bits left to turn. 3 little bits, actually. First off is the hat. So this is the next section. So I'm just going to move the tool rest out of the way. This is 2 inches square, 3 inches long. I'm just going to turn the speed down and drill. I'm sticking with the 4mm bit because that's what is in the Jacob's chuck. Helps if you actually lock off the tailstock. And this is just going to make a locating recess for a spigot on the little bobble that's going on the top. So we'll just drill that in there. move that out of the way. And then we can turn this round in the lathe and we'll start to turn the underneath of the hat. Now, the underneath is the bit that's going to basically sit on Santa's head. So we need to hollow this out slightly in order to enable it to sit correctly on top of Santa's head. So I'm going to do that cut again with the ball gouge. So let's try for, we'll go for the overhead camera actually. So we'll speed this up, get rid of some of the wax. Okay, so we've got flute facing to about the 2 o'clock position. Level rubbing. And just hollowing this out. Just so that it will sit properly on Santa's head. Okay. So we'll move that out of the way and then we'll make sure, now that's a little bit wide, so we need to take this down in diameter slightly, which it will be rounded off anyway because of the shape we're going to turn. So we're basically creating the kind of fur trim of the Santa hat. And then we'll have another dry run, see how that fits. There we go. So we get in there a little bit deeper, and this is going to be rounded off ever so slightly more. So it is just trial and error, guys, to get this to fit. So that hopefully will be about right. There we go. We've got a decent fit and we can orientate it so we can have it at a slight angle if we want. And now we can start to turn the shape of the hat. Now we're going to turn this down almost to a point and part this off. So, but we need to be careful because we've got that 4mm hole still running through. So we don't want to end up taking too much strength away. So that is going to be essentially the fur trim. And then we're going to taper this away pretty much down to almost nothing really. So I'm going to just grab my parting chisel just to give myself a little bit of room to work. And we will be swapping to the spindle gouge fairly soon. Just to get that detail a little bit crisper. There we go. Oh. That should get that nice and tidy. I'm just going to change to another ball gouge. That one's getting a little bit blunt, and we don't really want that when we've got the 4mm hole running through. So it's going to be a bit noisy, is this, because it's vibrating quite a bit. And the reason it's vibrating is just because of that 4mm hole that's running right through the middle. It's just taking a little bit of stability away from the timber. Now, I have to say that normally it's a little bit more stable than this usually when you get to this stage, but not today it would seem. Okay, and we need to get this sanded up now. I'm just going to check. I had a bit of a skip back with the spindle gouge, unfortunately, so I just need to take a little bit more off this trim area just to get rid of that catch. Okay. So hopefully that's got rid of it. Yeah, we're all good. So now we can give this a sand. As you can see, it's a stunning piece of wood. I would like to put a slightly deeper cut with the parting tool just between the fur trim area and the hat. So I'm just going to go right in with the tip of the chisel there, just to create a slightly harsher line. Because I'm hoping to put some red spirit stain on this just to brighten things up. So, quick sand. Just with the net abrasive. Now, we do need to do a half decent job sanding, really, because otherwise the spirit stains will pick up any sanding rings that you've got left in your timber. But I'm not going to go too mad. No, it was better overhead, wasn't it, really? We got any more riddles, guys?
We had a load earlier, but I couldn't keep up with them. So, guys, if you...
Oh, did we get answers to Paul's? To Paul Hannaby's and the other one? I've forgotten what they are. Just remind us of them, guys. We got distracted by talking about the Weekender and reminiscing and listening to my awful singing.
I thought you did really well, actually. You did really well. Paul was asking how does Santa keep you in suspense? And I think by not answering questions is possibly the answer to that one. I think the other one you were struggling with was the Christmas tree's favourite singer, which was Bruce Springsteen. I'm not sure if there was another one, and I can't find them all to go through them. I've just got loads and loads of comments from Kirsty saying how excited she is about next year.
Yeah, I know. Excited spam. They're excited for you to come down, Kirsty.
It's brilliant. I'm really pleased she's making the journey. So here you go. Here's one. So why did no one bid for Rudolph and Blitzen on eBay?
I do not know.
Because they were too dear.
Oh dear. Oh, that's a bad one. That's a bad one.
It's bad, but it's good, to be honest. I'm going to allow that one. I'm going to allow that one. Let's come on and join you for a moment. Frederick's back again.
Hi, Frederick.
Asking, what do frogs wear on their feet?
Flippers? I don't know.
Open-toed sandals.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Dear.
That was kind of appalling last time, to be honest.
Stinkers.
Okay, here's one then. Why does Santa have 3 gardens?
3 gardens.
Yeah.
Do you know?
So he can ho, ho, ho.
Oh man, they're terrible.
They are pretty bad. Last one for
They
now.
are really
what
bad.
What do you call an old snowman?
An old snowman?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Not a clue.
Water.
That is awful.
I'm only reading them, okay? I'm not sorting these out, you know.
Oh dear. Oh, they are bad. Are you still there? Oh yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. I thought I lost sound in my ear. Have I? I might have done. My headphone might have run out.
We can hear you perfectly.
All right, good. Thank goodness. Right, so I am just putting some spirit stain on here, just some red spirit stain to show off this lovely rippled sycamore. I'm just going to go around it 2 or 3 times just to get a really nice coat on there. Now, spirit stains and any kind of stains or dyes don't look their best until you put that final coat of finish on there. So you won't really get the full impact until you've completely finished it. So I'm just trying to get a decent amount on. It'll take a little while to dry, but I will then probably just put some wood wax on this and just buff it by hand because I need to part it off now, so I can't really afford to kind of be waiting for it to dry and then apply some wax. So I'll leave it a little while, but I am going to part this off so that we can then move on to the last couple of bits that we've got to finish turning. Now that channel has stopped a little bit of bleed, not totally, but it's just provided some sort of barrier between the fur trim area and the rest of the hat. So it has kind of just improved it a little bit. So now we can part this off and get ready to do the bobble and his nose, and then we can put him all together. So I'm just going to take the parting tool.
In the meantime, Emma, why couldn't the skeleton go? Why couldn't the skeleton go to the Christmas party?
Why couldn't the skeleton go to the Christmas party? Don't know.
Oh, Emma, I'm disappointed in you because he had nobody to go with.
I actually like that one.
And why don't you ever see Santa in hospital?
Why don't you ever see Santa in hospital? Not a clue.
Because he has private elf care. Oh.
I should have known that. Oh dear. Oh dear. Private healthcare. Excellent. Right then, guys. So this is the stage we're at now. We've parted off the hat. Now I do tend to do the little bobble separately just because it's just a little bit less to have to worry about when it comes to putting the stain on. You're not going to end up daubing it all over the bobble. So that is going to be Santa's hat in a little while. Finished. So in order to do the hat and the nose, all we have left to do, we just need our little piece of sycamore, and we're just going to pop that into the jars. Now if you've got pin jars, these are much better to use than trying to hold it this way, but just to save time, I'm not going to change because I'd have to take the jar plates off, etc. So I've held this in the middle of the jars, actually on the jar plates. Please be extremely careful doing this, guys. You really do need to be investing in some pin jars, ideally. But to be fair, pin jars do hold on a very, very small surface area. So make sure that if you are working with pin jars or any other jaws, that your stock is either completely square or it's cylindrical, and really tighten that up. Now I'm going to stick to a small chisel for this next bit, so that we can, we're not taking a large heavy cuts. It keeps us in control, and we're less likely to get a big catch. So we're going to turn 2 of these. These are out of inch square timber, which is 2 inches long. I would normally have the timber longer than this and do both out of the same piece, but I don't have one to hand, so these are going to have to suffice. So we're going to go for spherical as far as possible because it's a bobble, and we're also going to stick to exactly the same shape for the nose. So we are literally turning 2 of the same, which isn't a bad thing really, because it allows you to pick the best one for the job, depending on which one's going to look best as the nose and the hat. And I say that because you might accidentally turn one a little bit too small, so it might not fit brilliantly. So yeah, you can pick the one to suit. Now, having said that, ideally the bobble does need to have a flat back to go against the flat top of the hat. So
can we go overhead? I am going to do for a second.
Pardon?
Please, Emma. Can we go overhead on that, please? Overhead.
Yes, sorry, of course you can. There you go. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Oops, no, wrong way.
Wrong way.
There we go. 2 seconds. Let me just. There you go.
Excellent, thank you.
No problem, thank you. So yeah, I am going to use this one as the bobble because we've got a flat back. Now, you could do both the same, but having the back of this flat means that if you were to use this for the nose, it will push the fluff, the fur, completely flat behind it, and it won't sit very well. So the nose is better being a little bit more rounded. Now I'm just going to give this a quick sand. And finish, and I'm going to use the cut and polish and microcrystalline again. It is it's pretty much my go-to finish for a lot of different things. Now, I don't tend to use sanding sealer on demos underneath the cut and polish just because of time. But if you are looking for a really deep kind of glossy finish or some really kind of good depth of finish, it's a good idea to put a layer of sanding sealer on underneath, and it will just really allow it to bring that shine through. It still works very nicely without the sanding sealer underneath, but you won't quite get that same depth of finish. So it is a versatile thing really. But I have to say I do like it because you sand to 240 and then you don't get the dust the same because of the wax base. Okay. So quick going over. Microcrystalline, and then we're doing exactly the same with the nose. So I'll just move those out of the way. But we want our little 4mm locating spigot so that we don't want to part straight through because we put that spigot on for a reason. Just so it's easier to centralise this when we're putting them together. Okay. So that is our little bobble on there. So last little bit is the nose. So same sort of size of piece of timber, exactly the same process, and then we can put him together. And that includes just finishing off, putting our next finish on as well, just to add a little bit more colour to the base. So, same process. So this is exactly the same process that I use for making the noses for the gonks, just out of inch square stock. If I was to be doing a snowman ornament, I would be using probably just a pen blank, and I'd be using that out of yew or Paduke or something orange or something, maybe even some sycamore and staining it. But I will be using that to turn like just a little carrot nose. But you don't need the same size diameter piece of timber to start with if you're doing that. It's a bit more wasteful to turn that down from your inch square stock. So in with the parting tool again, but we are going to round this off fully. I'm just scraping that round at the back because my spindle gouge has got a nick out of it, which is why it skipped back earlier. So I'm cheating and using what I have here. Now we can just give it this another quick sand and same sort of finish. Last bit of cut and polish on there. So it really is exactly the same finish. Cut and polish, microcrystalline. It's nice and hard wearing is your microcrystalline, which is why I like to use it. It's just got that little bit of something to it that it's fingerprint proof. Because it's got quite a high melting point, and it's fairly water resistant. So if you are putting it on the Christmas tree, it's going to get handled, etc. It's just a really good finish that's nice and durable. So now we can part this off, our little nose. And again, we want a 4mm spigot at the back. Just so it's nice and easy to locate it into the head. Okay, so we've got our hat and we've got our nose. So next we could do to put some finish onto the spirit stain just to bring that out a little bit more. So I'm just going to use some Wood Wax 22 for this. Now ideally I would have liked to have put some sanding sealer on or some oil on or something like that, because that's really what brings it out a lot. But be careful with your oil because sometimes it can move it a little bit, whereas your wax is less likely to move the sanding sealer, to move the stain around. Oops, just chuck this on the floor. Now I like this stuff because it's really easy to hand buff. It's not quite dried. So we put some on and then get a little bit of towel in. And I just use that to hand buff. And I do this a lot. I use that Wood Wax 22 for hand buffing quite a bit because it's just so easy to get a really nice luster. And it's a nice kind of, it's more of a satin shine. It's not too glossy. But that just really kind of brings out the spirit stain and shows that rippling off a lot better. There we go. So that's gorgeous. Now you can build up layers of spirit stains. You can start with the darker one, allow it to dry, sand it back. So you could even put something like black or mix some black and red together and put a coat of that on first, allow it to soak in and then dry. Sand that back with 320-400 grit and then put some red on top, and that'll really, really enhance the rippling or the chatoyance. It looks awesome, does that. But unfortunately, again, due to time, we don't quite have that luxury to be able to do that this evening. So we'll get all of our components together, and then he is nearly ready to build. So, have we got any more questions, Terry, or any more jokes, or any more riddles?
Let's have a quick look there. So, I think we might almost be getting to the end, but let's have a little look at them. So, how do you scare a snowman?
I don't know.
Just grab a hairdryer. It was pretty bad, really.
That was pretty bad.
Do you know what? No, I think we're kind of up to date on this. I was going to. Why don't penguins fly?
I don't know.
I don't know either, actually. Martin, quick. Why don't they? Because they're not tall enough to be pilots. Oh,
oh man. Oh dear me. There's some bad ones in there.
I think
the worse the better.
We're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right,
Guy goes to the doctor, says, Doctor, I can't pronounce my F's and TH's. And the doctor says, you can't say fairer than that then.
Oh, that's harsh. I love it. That's it.
I'm going to hand it back to you for a while.
So we got this wonderful stuff now. A lot of you will have seen this appear recently. So this is the rainbow wax, which I love because it's got so many colours and it's such a lot of fun. I am kind of just basically working this onto the piece. Where are we? Overhead? Oh, let me zoom out again. Let's have a look. Okay, so we've basically just applying this really, really thick over the Ebonizing Lacquer. Now, you have to have allowed this to dry properly because if you don't and the surface is slightly tacky, it will cause anything that you put on top of it with a pigment in it will cause the pigment to adhere to the lacquer, and we don't want that. So make sure that you've given it time to dry. Now I am being a bit slapdash with this, I have to say. So put it on and it will dry in a couple of minutes. It really, really doesn't take long. This same process can be used with a gilt cream, which I love as well. I love the gold gilt cream. It's fabulous stuff. And then that will dry very, very quickly. Looks a little bit orange in the camera, but it is red. Next, we need to actually work on removing that. So you can use the chestnut reducer in order to do that, and that will remove it. But I have to say, sometimes the reducer can dull the colour a little bit. So I do try, where's my wood wax, and get some of it off with the wood wax 22. But if it is very thick like this, chances are a little bit slim. But yeah, the reducer works very very well, albeit if this does fail. But this tends to leave it nice and vibrant, so it might take a little bit of elbow grease to get it off, and you will get quite a lot coming off on the cloth. These are just cheap face cloths, and I use these. I have about 10 of them, and I just use them until they're pretty saturated with colour, and then I just put them all in the washing machine together. It pretty much all comes out. Obviously, don't put it in with your whites or anything else. Wash them on their own, but it pretty much all comes out of the cloth so that you can use them again. I've not had much trouble doing that. Now you could... I try and get as much of this off as I can. I am actually going to put it back into the jaws of the chuck just so that it's easier on you guys than watching me kind of try and get it off holding it, because it's all over the place. So we'll put that back into the jars.
And in the meantime, why is Santa so jolly?
I don't know. It's going to be an easy one, isn't it?
I've just seen the answer. Because he knows where all the naughty girls live.
Who said that?
Rick Dobney, of course.
Oh, Rick. One of the Northern Invaders.
Yeah. Good to have you out there, Rick. Thanks for your email this week, by the way. I'm not sure if I answered it or not. I think I was off on Friday, so I didn't get to answer that. But I saw that. Thank you. No problem. And Frederick is promising this to be his last one, but I don't know if it's going to be or not. Why did Santa's little helper see the doctor? As you can see, the psychiatrist would be better, actually.
I don't know.
Because he had low elf esteem.
Oh dear. I really are getting terrible jokes this evening, but it's been wonderful to hear them. It's nice that so many people have joined in with the fun. That's what we want.
Oh, here we are. We might get this one. What is Santa's wife called?
It's got to be Merry Christmas, hasn't it?
Indeed. Yay! It is. Well done. Yeah.
All right. Finally.
Oh, and you'll be pleased to hear this one. You've inspired Kirsty to have a go at. Her phrase is whipping the waxes back.
Whipping them back.
Whipping them back, yeah.
Wiping
the waxes back.
There we go.
Whipping sounds better though, actually.
It does sound better.
We might have to adopt that.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to blame autocorrect for you there, Kirsty.
It will be. There we go. So removed with the wood wax 22, it really keeps it super, super vibrant. Even though it does take a little bit longer, but it's worth it. Because as I say, they're quite pearlescent of the rainbow waxes, and sometimes the reducer can leave more of the pearlescent behind. It allows the pearlescent to come through more, so it's not quite as vibrant. But that's fab. Now, terrible application there with me chucking it on. I need to sort that out, and I will just get that off with some reducer or some possibly some wax, because we've got the wax underneath it as a bit of a protective base. So now we can just assemble this. So this will not take too long at all, guys. We need some adhesive, get rid of all these bits and pieces. So we need some adhesive, we need the glass globe, and we need the lights. So the lights we're going to put through first. Oh, where's my blooming bit of... There we go. Right, let me move the camera so you can actually... Oh, yeah, you can see that. I'll just move this over slightly for you and zoom in. There we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the lights. So I've got red lights to go with the red theme. And seeing as the bauble is making the body of Santa, then it kind of makes sense that it's red. Now, if the hole is bunged up in the middle, then just push through a drill bit just to clear that out. And then we can turn this round and push the lights through. Just move that out a little bit. There we go. And what ideally we want to do, now I've tied these in a knot, what ideally we would like to do with this, have I just tied that in another knot? Hang on, sorry guys. Having no luck with the lights. There we go. So we want to be pushing this solder joint into the 4mm hole, which is why we have drilled it as 4mm, because that's a very weak solder joint and we don't really want lots of pressure putting on that. We can now take the battery case. One side is where it opens so that you can replace the CR2032 batteries. The other side has got screw holes, and this is a side that we need to put the hook and loop tape. This comes as part of the kit, and it's got some double-sided hook and loop, but you need to make sure that it goes on the side with the screws, otherwise you're going to struggle to get access to it. And then we will stick that into that recess to one side and just tuck the wire out of the way. Okay, so turning that round, now we can take the wire and put it inside the glass globe. So if I turn these lights on, you'll be able to see them going inside. I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just pushing them in. They're orientating themselves around the inside of the glass quite evenly by themselves. There we go. So they just distribute themselves. Don't try and manipulate them. You don't need to do that. They will spread themselves out pretty easily. And then we need an adhesive to glue these together. Now I use this stuff. This is Pseudo Fix All. It basically dries clear and flexible, which are the two most important things. This stuff's brilliant, and you get quite a good amount of it in this tube. Now, if you do get one of these tubes, do not snip that applicator tip. It's supposed to be so that you can apply it quite finely, but we don't need to do that. And if you cut that, you will break the airtight seal that this gives. So just apply it straight from the neck of the tube. Now I put it around the glass. Excuse my hands being in the way, sorry about that. And I put a really good amount on there all the way around. And what this will do is it will act as both a void filler, so it'll act as something to fill the gap between the wood and the glass. But because it dries flexible, it will also be a bit of a cushion. So once that's on, we will just push those two together. So I push them together and give them a bit of a twist to make sure that that glue is distributed evenly. And you might get some overspill. If you do, don't worry about trying to wipe it away. This stuff is so sticky, it'll just go everywhere. So don't bother with that. We use the same to apply Santa's head on top. So we use the same glue, but I'm not going to do that just now. I'm going to concentrate on putting Santa's head together. So I'm just going to grab my glue gun, and then we're going to put Santa's hat on, and then we're going to put the beard on. So I'll just be 2 seconds while I go and get that. We'll get that plugged in and warming up.
Which is probably a great time to ask another riddle for you. And why has Santa... Oh, I don't know if you're going to like this one. Why has Santa been banned from sooty chimneys?
Say that again.
Why has Santa been banned from sooty chimneys?
I don't know.
Carbon footprints.
Oh, man. That's definitely a modern day joke, isn't it?
It certainly is. Well done, Stephen, for that one.
Right, so I am just warming up the glue gun. This is used for gluing wood to wood. It doesn't work for gluing wood to glass. It will let go. So I never glue the globe on with this. Glue the globe, that's an hard one to say. But yeah, we can apply, we can join the hat and the head together with that. Now, the next stage is quite important because we're going to go for Santa's beard. Now, I have just got this brand new fluff in, and it's sparkly. Shiny, shiny. I know it's not white, but it's nearly white, so he's going to have a sparkly beard. So when you are cutting this stuff, I sell these individually or in packs of 3 or 10. And when you get these pieces, they are 6 inches long and 2 inches wide. That will do 2 gonks or 2 Santas. So we need to cut it in half first. And when you're cutting it in half, you need to make sure that you lay the piece of fluff down with the pile going away from you and put it upside down. So if we go back to the overhead camera, just move that out of the way while that's drying a little bit. So we'll lay that down and we'll just cut straight down the middle. Because as I say, there's plenty on here to do too. Okay, so put one aside. And we next need to cut somewhere for the nose to fit through, but we can't quite do that until we've glued the hat and the head together, really. Because we need to get a good idea as to where the nose is going. Now, I do offset the hat slightly with these. So if I go back to overhead, I do tilt it a little bit, but not much. If you tilt these too much, I'll grab one of the snowmen that I did last year when I first started doing these. So this is a snowman ornament. He's got to have his lights put in because he had to be repaired. I've offset this hat quite a lot, and I have noticed that on some that I've got the hat offset, I think that the weight of the hat constantly pulling on the glass can sometimes cause the glass to crack. So I don't offset them by that amount anymore. I seriously have it much more. I reduce the amount that it's offset by. It doesn't spoil it in the slightest, but it's just less likely for things to potentially go wrong. Okay, so slight offset, that'll do us about right. So a good amount of hot melt glue in there. If you get overspill from this, you can still cut that away as well. We want that to the front. There we go. Move that out of the way. And now we can look at locating the nose. So all this needs to be done before we can cut the fur for the nose to fit. So we're just going to hold that up. And ideally what you want to happen is you want the nose to, when it's pushed in, to almost butt up to the rim of the hat. Because if it doesn't and you cut the fur badly, you're going to cause yourself a lot of grief trying to do that. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about. Now, this is a little pin vise, a little hand drill, which I use for doing any hand drilling on these because it's round, and if you're using an electric drill or a battery drill and on a rounded piece of wood, you don't want it skipping off and ending up putting a hole in your hand. Now, these pin vices, this is a really old pin vise, guys, and I didn't realise. I got this 3 or 4 years ago, and I bought it from eBay, I'm pretty sure. Now, I have been telling people this, and I've had quite a few people emailing me saying that they're struggling to get one to fit a 4mm drill bit in. Obviously, they'll fit sort of 3.5mm and stuff like that, and that's okay to use, but the 4mm is ideal for doing other things and drilling holes for the battery lights to go in, for example. So I have got some coming that I've managed to find that will take up to an 8mm bit, but they have been an absolute pain to get hold of. So I apologise to anybody who has seen these demos at clubs and has been trying to get hold of a pin vise that'll take a 4mm bit. No, so now we've got the nose drilled, and we can then take our snowman and we can basically work out, our Santa, we can work out basically where the beard needs cutting. So I've folded it in half, and then we're going to cut a little slot out of this. Now, I always used to do a little bit of a V-cut. And I have to say, this little method was shown to me by Tina Johnson. Tina does some amazing gnomes, amazing gonks. She's brilliant at it. And the trouble is with doing a V-cut that it can get a little bit messy, especially if you haven't turned the nose or drilled the hole for the nose to go in particularly close to the hat, because you'll have to hide that join. It's not easy to do. So this is definitely a much better method. So thank you very much to Tina for sharing that. So next we need to glue this all together. So I use either thick super glue. So there we go. So the thick one is brilliant. You can use this on the material as well. But initially, we just need to pop a little bit into that hole that we've drilled. Sorry if that's out of focus. I just realised that I'm holding that up. And then pop our nose through the material. Stay there. Should have left it through there. It was already in. And we want to glue that straight in to begin with. And what that does is that now frees us up to be able to handle the rest of the material. It holds it in place. It won't take long for that to go off and hold the nose in place, etc. And then you can either use CA glue, or I have recently started using another one, and because the thick super glue is brilliant because it doesn't come through the back of most materials, but I have recently had some material that has allowed a little bit to bleed through the front, and it's nothing to do with the glue, it's the backing of the material, it's the fabric backing. So I have been having a play with some other adhesives, and I have recently got some of this stuff, which is by Beacon. It's Fabri-Tac. It's an American brand. So that's the stuff, and it does what it says on the tin. It's a fabric glue. It takes a little bit longer to go off than the super glue, the CA glue, but it doesn't quite bleed through the same. Well, as I say, the thick doesn't hardly bleed through anyway, but I have had a couple of unsuccessful goes with just some new fur that I got. So we'll put that on one side and on the other. And all I'm doing, sorry, I forgot to change the camera. All I'm doing is just applying a line across the top, a little bit down, so kind of an L shape. I do one side at a time. Try and avoid touching the area where the glue is as much as possible, because otherwise if you're pressing and pressing and pressing, then no matter what glue you use, it's going to bleed through to the front of the fabric. Now this will need a little bit of a trim because it is quite long, as you can see in the back. So I am going to take a little bit of length out, otherwise you're not going to be able to see the lights. But that is something that I leave till the end, till now. And I hold them together and basically figure out where that needs cutting. I'll probably only take a small amount off, really. Now I have to say that both the CA glue and the Fabri-Tac they're not affected by the waxes on the wood, so they don't like have trouble sticking because of the wax on the wood at all. There's no problems there. But as you can possibly see, if I hold that up, we can't really see much of the globe, so it needs a bit of a trim. So we'll just do that. Now, when you're cutting across this material, you need to be extra careful to make sure, again, I'll go on the overhead camera, that you put the blade of the scissors underneath the fur so that it kind of parts it. Otherwise, you'll chop it short underneath and it'll just look rubbish. So just small, careful snips, work your way around. Now that might be enough, or it might not be quite enough. It's really quite thick stuff, is this, and quite a long pile. And I'm also just going to angle the corners slightly, just so we don't have that harsh corner. Now I used to do that with the gonks, but I don't tend to take the corners off anymore of the gonks. It just gives them quite a full beard. But with this, we do want to be able to see underneath slightly. Okay. Now that is more like it. So I'm basically just going to hold this up, guys, for you. I'm not going to glue the head on at the moment because it's just going to take like 10-15 minutes to dry. It's quite cool in here, actually, so it'll take a little bit longer to dry with the Pseudo Fix All. But here we have our little snowman. I think he still needs a little bit more of a trim. Let me just can I turn some lights on? We'll be able to see. Will that help? There we go. One Santa. Sorry, I keep calling him a snowman. He's not a snowman, he's a Santa. So there you go. So, one project. I hope that I haven't finished too early. I don't even know what time it is, Terry, so sorry.
No fear of being early there, Emma. I've got to tell you, it's 9:45, so that's absolutely.
Sorry. Usual overspill. Sorry.
It's really not a problem. Emma, stay there just a second if you don't mind.
I'm staying.
Hi everyone, Richard Findlay here. I'm just setting up for my last remote demo of the year, and I wanted to hop on and wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. With clubs opening up in the new year, hopefully I'll be able to actually get to see some of you in person. Stay safe, have a good one, and I'll see you in the new year.
So
nice one, Richard.
That's Richard Findlay, folks. I don't know if you heard the introduction at the beginning of that. For some reason, it's
yes, yeah, we did. No, it played, Terry. It's cool.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Brilliant.
Right.
So, yeah, and I'm actually just going to announce this now as a little extra bit of info for everyone. Richard Findlay is going to be one of the headline demonstrators at next year's Wood Turning Weekender. So.
Oh, that makes it worth going. He's a blooming good turner, is Richard.
Yeah, I mean, he's done some great Conkers Live for us, as have you, Emma. And so, yeah, we can have him. We're really happy to have him coming along there. Another one from Stephen. Who is Rudolph's favourite pop star?
Oh, we've got Rudolph's favourite pop star now.
Yeah, we've had a Christmas trees, but this is Rudolph's.
I don't know.
Paul Hannaby suggested Sister Sledge, which is pretty good. Ash Howard Ash Howard came in with Slade, and they do have a famous Christmas song, of course.
Oh yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, and the actual answer is Beyond Sleigh.
Beyond Sleigh. Oh, groan.
Falling.
A terrible one to finish the day.
It has been. But Emma, that's been a great demo. Thank you so much for that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And I know that everyone
Thank you for everybody who stayed.
Well. Yeah. Yeah, we're getting loads of positive comments coming in. People haven't worried too much about the jokes, which is good fun. So it's been absolutely brilliant. Really have enjoyed it. Do you have time to pop over onto Zoom with us in a moment?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, all right. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just do 10-15 minutes on there, do a little bit of a Q&A if we can. Just checking through. You're reading the comments as they're coming through as well, I think. So that's fine with that. I don't need to tell you how much everyone enjoyed it. You're seeing it for yourself. So it was a really good demo. I just want to give
it was good fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't often come on the screen very much. I usually let the demonstrators get on with it, but I have interrupted you several times tonight, so it has been good fun.
No, it's been brilliant.
Yeah, I've had to earn my money tonight. So, Emma, thank you very much. I just want to give just another thank you to you for doing this for us tonight and for entering into the spirit, and a great outfit there.
Thank you.
I particularly like the stripy tights and that they look
great.
Yes,
so. There it is.
We don't get to see them very often because
those legs do not come out very often at all.
Right, been good fun. I also want to give just a very quick plug to our wonderful wood turning calendar. There it is, which is still available from our website. Can I find Emma's page on here? Not quickly. I should have planned this better, shouldn't I? Really. Hang on. But Emma is one of our featured demonstrators in here. I'm just trying to. What month for you, Emma? Any idea?
I can't remember.
Shame on you. Oh, yes, that is you. You are August. There we are. August. Oh, hang on, let's turn the page there. So there's Emma's page on the calendar. So Emma's got hers there as well.
I've got mine too. Yeah, my little ball.
There we go. So that's
Ebonizing Lacquer and Gilt Cream. Love that stuff.
Perfect. There's loads and loads of other stuff in there as well. There's Colwyn Way.
Yeah, it's a good calendar.
And, and there's one of Kirsty's there. Kirsty, there you are.
Yeah, one of Kirsty's is on there as well. I own a piece of Kirsty's work. I bought some.
I own 3 pieces.
I do technically because I have a pair of earrings, so that's 1, 2, and a bowl. So I suppose it's 3.
We'll let you off.
I should have worn them today.
Yeah, I've got a pair of earrings, but they're not for me. So just to say that. But yeah, so the wood turning weekend, the wonderful wood turning calendar still available on the website. And if you don't want to buy anything else, just follow the link on the page. And we can post one of those out for you. So it's £8.50 delivered. So if we can do that for you, Emma, I'll you do that so well. Thank you so much, and I'll hopefully get over onto Zoom in a minute and see you there. So if you're following us onto Zoom, we'll catch you over there. Emma, thanks again, and we'll speak again in a minute, hopefully. Cheers for now. Bye bye. I'm going to let you remove yourself because
All right then.
I'll let you remove yourself. I'll just keep talking until you get fed up of it all. So that was the last Conkers Live for the. Bye. That was the last Conkers Live of the year. We will be back on the 29th of December with a Twixmas quiz. So please come and join us for that if you can. Just a bit of fun. We're just going to have the normal 36 questions and the on-screen scoring. So it's always a good laugh. So 29th of December, I will email and let you know about that and give you a quick reminder. That is the last Conkers Live demo of this year. And we are going to slow it down a little bit next year. We will be back but we're going to just slow it down a little bit. Clubs are starting to open up again. Exhibitions and demos are taking place. So I know lots of you are getting out to clubs and taking part in those, which is fantastic. That's, it's great for us as demonstrators to be back out and seeing people. So we're really enjoying that. But we will be back in the new year. Keep an eye on your inbox. We'll let you know when we're coming. In the meantime, just to say, have a great Christmas. Thank you for all your support and for staying with us and watching us over the last 18 months-ish, something like that. And look forward to seeing you again next year. Goodbye for now. If you're coming over to Zoom, see you there. And if not, we'll see you somewhere else. All right, take care. Bye, everyone. Cheerio. Thank you.